I love Diane Franklin. Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I will be interviewing my very first guest for the second time, obviously, Diane Franklin. I can't wait. We're going to have a nice little conversation about things she's got going on now, maybe some serious stuff like the Me Too movement, and a couple other things today. And it's going to be a very good Valentine's Day for me. I am so anti-Valentine's, but I will tell you this. I'm not too cynical to tell all my friends I love them, and I do. I love all my friends and all my subscribers out there. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel, and please tell all your friends who haven't subscribed to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I love you all. So I am going to start my interview with Diane right now.
Well, I am excited to talk with you, but I cannot believe what's going on in Florida.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, isn't that terrible?
Oh my gosh, I just have to address it first because that's just like, it just should never happen. It's just a horrible, horrible thing. What is going on, right?
Yep.
I have one thing to say. Everyone should be with their families, right? Everyone, and we need more parents home with their kids. That's what I have to say about that. More parents home with their kids. America has to find a way that a family, and a regular family, can make a living, a good living, a decent living, and be home with your kids. Because that's the problem. The problem is we need more, people home with their kids. So if something seems like it's going on, you know.
Yep.
Anyway, I just say that.
No, I totally agree with you. And it's a funny thing too. Bill Cosby, of all people, was preaching this like for years and years before he got caught. But I think now, hopefully now, people will listen to somebody else saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the really biggest problem is, everybody knows that there's a problem, but we're all saying, well, how do you solve it? And it's really grassroots down to the, we've got to watch out for each other. We have to take care of each other. We've got to stop hurting each other. And the problem stems from, whether it be, if it's family, then the kids have to, how hard, it's hard for a kid to go outside the family and tell strangers, what's going on.
Yep.
And then, if it's like they're just angry and there's emotion, they need to let it out, So I think we just have to support each other as a country and each other and, create some trust. And people who are struggling, just don't take it out on other people. It's not okay. God knows what this kid was thinking, but, if it is, just can't take it out on other people,
Right. And also too, everyone needs to, if they know that there's a problem, stop figuring out, stop talking about it, just do it. You know what I mean?
Yes. You mean like solve the problem, like go after it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their responsibility in it. The parents have the child, and the kid has to be responsible to say what it's feeling, and the school has to be responsible for the safety of the other people, and there should be no guns in school. I mean, whatever. All I can say is, do you remember this happening when we were growing up? I mean, maybe it wasn't on the internet. Maybe that's why it's not shown as much. But I don't remember this kind of violence at school like this.
Not the closest I can remember is that any kids at my school could not bring toy guns to school because they could look like real guns, Yeah. But that was about it.
Oh.
And it wasn't until I was like 15, 16 and Columbine happened. That was like the beginning of it.
Right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, I think that everybody needs to watch something upbeat then after this is all done. Go watch Better Off Dead or Bill and Ted's or something. Get your head in a better place. But, wow, like just...
Yeah. So...
Yeah, the moment. So, anyway, sorry, I just had to bring it up. It was just, I did another interview a while back, the day that there was, I think, the bombing in Paris, and it was such bizarre timing. You just can't not say anything because it's just so. It's like the world is going and doing things while everything else is going on, and everyone's thinking good thoughts for those families. See if we can help them.
Yeah.
In Florida. But anyway, okay. you go on. You bring it up. You change the subject.
Yeah. So, how was your birthday?
Oh, my birthday. Okay, my birthday was wonderful. Thank you for asking. Actually, my biggest present, and speaking of shootings, bizarrely, it all comes full circle, was the screening of Amityville.
Yes.
Murders. Amityville Murders. There was a screening of it on Tuesday night, and I was very nervous. I don't usually get nervous as much, but I was so nervous. I don't know. I just was so excited, and I don't know. This is a feeling, and I think it's just because it's the first time that I'm a film that has a big potential of being very big. Mm-hmm. And I think to me that was like, wow, haven't been out in the theaters or something big in a while, and it's a very good role. And so what happened was, and then again, here this is based on a true story. And again, like to me, if you're doing something based on a true story, you got to give it your heart, and you have to research it, and you have to come from a place of respect and working. And I think that if you see smiles on my face, it's because I'm very proud of my work.
Right.
And actually, during the film, I mean, even my own family, like, they turned to me and went, "Oh my God, this movie's really good." And Mom, my daughter was like, "Mom, you're really good." My husband's like, "You're really good." Yes. Like, I was really happy that I pulled it off, that it was could be that gripping and real. And the movie is amazing. I'm so proud, and I was so just proud. I'm just proud that I'm part of it. And again, this is about someone's life, and it really happened. And I think the director handled it really well. I mean, it's not a documentary, but it's a docudrama. So it's got the feeling of it's got absolute true facts, but it's done in a way that shows the importance of the issue, which I actually have to say is actually sometimes a good thing, meaning when you see a film and an incident happens, sometimes the actual experience, the incident is very dry and it's very fast, and people don't even get a chance to experience or show the emotion that's going on or the depth of the characters while the incident's going on. Maybe people, go through, if there's a shooting or something, that they're disconnected, they're not connected to the emotions of the other people. So what's good about a docudrama is it really gets to delve into the experience and deeper and kind of slow down time a little bit so that we get to see all the moments fully. So Daniel Ferran was wonderful. I had not worked with him before, but I saw that he did the documentary on the Amityville Murders, and he also did the Haunting in Connecticut. So his combination of skills, I think, are really amazing. I think you've not seen him film like this.
Nice.
I think people who like horror, I think if you really, really like horror, I think you're going to really like this, because you've seen horror, so now you're going to say, okay, this is something different, and this is something that you wind up talking about a lot afterwards. I mean, that's what happened when we all left the theater. Yeah. Everyone was kind of talking about all aspects of it. And then especially since I was in the film when I was younger, I played the daughter, and now I play the mother, it takes us another level, you know? So that was my birthday present to me, the accomplishment. And, my feeling was, no matter if I never do another acting job, if it never happens, knock on wood, it won't be, but if it doesn't, then that would be a great send-off. It was just amazing.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I love those pictures you post, those on-set pictures where you got the pretty pink nails. I love that.
Aw, thank you. And by the way, I want to say, this film is, we had the screening for distributors.
Yeah.
So we're going to find out within the next month who's distributing the film, and then the advertising will start. So essentially, this is sort of like I'm talking to everyone as a friend.
Right.
Like, oh, guess what? I did,
Yeah.
But it hasn't even been advertised. That's why I think maybe a lot of people are confused about the film because they're going, when can I see it? It's because it's not out yet. I mean, it was shown to us and shown to distributors, but now we are seeing if it's going to go in the theater or if it's going to go on Netflix or Amazon or, privately distributed. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing. It should be in the theaters because it's that good. And I would not say that if the film didn't hold up. And people jumped in their seats, and it was amazing. It was really, really. I think it would do very well in the theaters. But we'll see. We'll see if it does go to the theater. Maybe I could go to a screening with everybody and watch it. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway,
like Alamo Drafthouse or something like that.
Yeah, let's get a big theater and everybody goes, and yeah, that'd be really cool. So to see it in the theater. So
yeah, this is
or do an Amityville part 2 and the Murders one, double feature. But we'll see what they do. So that's why if you're hearing this from me, and you've been following me, on Facebook or Twitter. It's Diane Franklin 80 or Diane to be with you on Instagram, DianeTobeYou. Or if you go to Diane Franklin Fans on the group page, not Diane Franklin Fans regular, but you'll see two black and white pictures of me from my books. And you follow me there, I will keep you up to date. And I'm also putting out photos. I can't put out everything yet because I don't want to do spoilers, but you're getting a lot of behind scenes before, we start really advertising the film.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
amazing job acting too. The other acting is wonderful. John Robertson has lead, and Chelsea Ricketts plays my role that was in the first Amityville, the daughter. And then of course Burt Young plays my dad.
Nice.
Wonderful to see him again. Oh,
yeah,
it was great. And then Lainey Kazan plays the mother, who did a wonderful job. I do miss Britannia. I wish Britannia had been able to be in it. But for unforeseen, I mean, I wanted to sit there just a really nice throwback nod, come on, But I think it just was a combination of a bunch of things, and I certainly was in her corner as well. Lainey hadn't even been cast. I was like, if you pick the mom, take Britannia, And I knew Daniel Lewis as well too. So, but Lainey was great, and she did a great job. So, we'll have to do the next one. The next one, I'll say the grandmother. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm interviewing Britannia again on Monday, and I'll ask her, what happened if she even knows, But
I know that she's a wonderful actress.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I do know that she had a movie with Robert De Niro that she was doing, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Or when it's coming out. So.
Oh yeah, I remember her talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was happening around the same time as well. So that was one of the things that I know was part of it. But anyway, yeah. So her daughter does want her mom back.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. I hope it gets released because this is a weird time for movies getting released because so many movies are not being seen now. Right? Yeah.
Movie industry is very different. You used to do a movie. I mean, honestly, when I did Last American Virgin, we didn't think that film was necessarily going to come out because not every film came out because it had to come out in the theaters.
Yeah.
You had to know you had an audience, and at the time, I don't even know if there wasn't even anything like direct-to-video. It was sort of, it just didn't come out. You did a film and just, eventually just sat on the shelf. And now today, we have sort of there's such a huge market of film. There's so many films that even Oscar-winning films sometimes are not seen.
Right.
Because there's just too many films, and what's going on is people will say, okay, well, I'm a horror person, so I watch horror films, and I'm not going to watch these other films. Or I know this is my generation, so I'm going to watch these films. I'm not going to see, these other films that maybe they have great acting, maybe they've gotten awards, but, we only have so much time. And we kind of have to pick and choose what we watch. Or people binge watch now. They watch, a TV show. So sometimes movies are getting, not seen.
Yeah.
But I will say this. This is so interesting. Just because it was my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday is the same day as Jennifer Aniston, which is really fun. And I was thinking, I will be or am or whatever remembered as a film actress.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, at this point, I mean, at least I always saw her as a TV actress because of Friends.
Yeah.
But she is not TV. She's done film, obviously a lot of film too, but it's sort of like how we remember that person.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, how interesting, it's her birthday, she's going to be remembered for her television, films or television, and I'm remembered for film, but then I'm thinking, wow, but even to be remembered for film, there's no more film. We're talking more like there's digital or there's internet. So it's like even film might sort of disappear, and it might be one of those, it's sort of like saying somebody's a famous, they're a silent film screen person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we go from silent screen to film, and we become a film actress, and then, but now we're moving into the digital world, so that's a digital actress, right? Digital. So it's just kind of interesting that the media changes, and then sort of that maybe has its end. Maybe there'll be a finite of film actresses, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of
yeah.
funny thought.
Yeah, that would be nice, actually.
Interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that we continue because we modify how we, show all this, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
That it goes from, it has different platforms, and you could be famous in the video game. Well, I guess video games, unless they're live action, sort of. But yeah, video games is just the animation of it. But you could be internet famous. That's a real thing. So that might be your calling card where people know you and that, what your, name is. And I don't think there's a better or worse. It just has to do with the audience and how they access the information.
Right.
So
today,
blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about the 80s, right?
well, today is the 32nd anniversary of TerrorVision. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh. Wait, it was when it came out today?
Yeah.
Remember? Oh my gosh. I love TerrorVision. And I'm so glad it's still alive in your heart or in someone else's heart, somebody out there.
Oh, I love it.
Know what TerrorVision is?
Yeah.
What did you like about TerrorVision?
I think it's very, just like I told you last time, it's very John Waters-y-esque, and I just love everyone's performances. It's just so offbeat, and off kilter. It's an amazing little gem of a movie.
It's bigger than life.
Yeah.
It's like to me, it was always like a live action cartoon.
Yeah.
And and it's stylized.
Yep.
I remember when we did it, we thought it was hilarious because it really did poke fun of the 80s. But because we did it in the 80s, nobody got it. Like people in the 80s went, "This is just a bad movie," and like, no, you don't get it. This is supposed to be bad. Like we're making good bad. We're making a film that is poking fun of the 80s, but in a way that is through a story. And I mean, my characters, you mix Cyndi Lauper, a Valley girl, and a punk rocker,
Yeah.
And, it was like everything 80s. Let's just put it all in one. And we did that purposely, and Tig Nicolai totally knew what he was doing. I mean, that's exactly what was going on. We knew. He knew, and here's an example. That movie, we actually thought that it would come out and people would go crazy and thought it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Because I honestly say your audience, like sometimes the world has to get used to an idea before they can relax and enjoy it. And so what happens is because it was made in the 80s, it was a little too fresh.
Yeah.
But now people can look back and go, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That, it totally, they see the tongue-in-cheek aspect of it.
Yeah. Like, Back to the Future made fun of 80s consumerism, but yet everybody loved it,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and so sometimes the films are ahead of their time, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little bit. Even to the same Better Off Dead was similar to that. It was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
When that movie came out, the reviewers didn't quite, they couldn't review it well. They had to just go, they were comparing it probably to other films that were, great films during the time.
Yeah.
And they couldn't honestly say, hey, spend your $5 to go see this film. So Better Off Dead found its audience when people got to choose what they wanted to watch and rent it. And that's when it hit,
Yeah.
These films are starting to find their audience. But I love TerrorVision. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tiddly, oh diddly. Like Peterman,
Do you have, strictly fans from that movie who don't even realize that that's you?
Oh, yes. I do have people who were shocked that I did other films. Like they saw me as Susie Putterman and they were like, "You were in Last American Virgin," or like, "Oh my God, you were the girl from Better Off Dead."
Yeah.
Or you were the princess from Bill and Ted. Like, it definitely becomes, I do have that.
Yeah.
What I love is that my TerrorVision fans, maybe there would be people that wouldn't normally see the other movies I did, but
yeah,
they love TerrorVision. And when that film, like now when I do conventions,
mm-hmm.
they come out and they, the TerrorVision fans are the ones that go all out. Like they'll have a T-shirt of TerrorVision, or they'll have a diorama of TerrorVision, or
I've seen them.
Bring me, somebody like people bring me
posters,
and it's so great. It's just really a fun, upbeat film. If you have not seen it, it is just it's like a really fun movie. And the character I played, Susie Potterman, I love that character. I've always, I grew up in the 80s, but I never got a chance to be punk, punky things, and I dressed punk like a punk, and so I just loved that whole look, and wearing all that stuff. It was just really fun as an actress to play that character.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's so there's a possibility of Bill and Ted 3.
Yes, that is a really great thing you brought that up. Mm-hmm. Bill and Ted's has, over the years, people have been saying it's going to happen. And then I went to a screening of Bill and Ted's, and Alex Winter was, he actually was the first person who was supposed to be at the Arrow Theater, and Kimberly and I, Kimberly Cates, who found out about the film, we found out he was doing it. They said, "Can we come to the screening?" And he's like, "Sure, babe." So we showed up, and the producer was there, Scott, and so we wound up going. And we were like, "What's going on with Bill and Ted's 3?" And they said, "Well, we had some legal rights stuff we had to deal with," and then they said, "Well, there's some financial things we're looking into. Like we need some more money." And but I think it was more just Keanu and Alex are totally into it. I mean, they are in. They are absolutely in.
Yeah.
Right now, I think we're probably going to know within a couple of months what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I know that's been said before, but I really think it's going to happen. I definitely think it's going to happen. So I'm a big fan of the film. I don't know if I'm in it or not, but I'm a big fan regardless,
mm-hmm.
because I think the message of the film is great. Be excellent to each other, and I think I would like to see Little Bill and Ted, whether they were mine or not. I'd like to see Little Bill and Ted because they would be very lovely. So keep your fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. This has been a very special year for me, so it's possible if they do wind up doing it, we'd be shooting this year. And I've had tremendous luck. This seems to be the year where a lot of my films are supposed to come out. I'm supposed to have 4 films come out this year, so some in film festivals, some maybe direct to video, I don't know. So keep your eyes out. I would just stay in contact with me, because if you connect with me on social media, then again, even if you do Twitter, Diane Franklin 80, I will announce all these things, so you'll know.
Of course. Yeah, I saw Ed Solomon be interviewed on Ileana Douglas's podcast, which I recommend, by the way. It's a great show. And he mentioned, yeah, the script had been written like 10 years ago, and nobody's been wanting to finance it, but they got Steven Soderbergh attached to producing it, which I think is funny because that guy's track record is so idiosyncratic of the things he likes to direct and produce. It's so funny.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say about Ed, because Ed just tweeted me yesterday. He was like, I guess Ed put out the original script. He took some pictures of the original script of Bill and Ted and put it online.
Yeah.
And he sent it to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is just amazing that we could be here right now and be looking at these pages and know that that was made to a feature. Like, and then that it led to, you know, a sequel, and that it's gone all over the world and has such a positive message. It just goes to show that creativity is important, and, you know, you just don't know, just, you know, and anyone, you know, can be creative, but you have to believe in yourself, and you have to do it, and it just never stops. And it's just great that Ed, you know, had the vision to create the film. He and his partner had a vision to do it. So very exciting. I'm very happy that he's doing interviews now.
Yeah, and also, did you ever see Bogus Journey?
No. You know, here's another thing. I haven't seen Bogus Journey, and I haven't seen Lemon Popsicle, which is so ridiculous, because every time I talk on this, I'm doing a podcast, I'm like, I'm going to go see them, and I'm just so busy. That's the problem. I really want to see it, so I have to sit down. Maybe even if there was a double feature when they did Bill and Ted, I had to leave, so I do want to see it. So I have to find out, did you see it? Did you like it? I should ask you.
Well, I saw it when it first came out. I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it on video when I was like 8 or 9. And
oh my gosh!
I've seen it a couple times since. But the two girls who replace you and Kimberly, they look like you, but they're nothing compared to you two, though.
Oh, that's so nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was a bizarre thing too, because I mean, I'm sure those girls are like, why were we cast when you had other princesses too? I mean, I'm sure they were like wondering. But yeah, no, we had no idea why they recast us as us. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Very, you know, Kimberly and I definitely, we have been getting together, and we just did something very cool. We did we went and announced a band at, there's this thing called 80s Weekend, and then K-Earth did a show down in the Honda Center.
Yes, I wanted to bring that up. Yeah. Just
last month, we came on stage and announced Salt and Pepper as the princesses. And so we dressed up as modern princesses. I get as princesses like at the end of the film.
Yeah. And
sort of rocker princesses, and announced the band. And people went crazy. I mean, it was just so much fun, because we were the only actors who did it for the bands, and they just lost it. It was just really exciting, and it was great. People, you know, remembered Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
So we're spreading the Bill and Ted energy and word.
That's so
wherever
awesome.
We can.
That's so awesome. One thing I realized too, and I'm not easily offended by any mean stretch of the imagination, but because of today's political correctness, which I think is polluting the planet, Bill and Ted are not going to be able to call each other fag anymore.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, and even like, I mean, the other thing was, even babes and dudes. You know, like even that was like, I'm going, you know, I say I'm a babe. Like I go, I'm a babe. You know, and because especially right now, I'm like, yeah, I want to be a babe.
Yeah.
You should be a babe. Like, please call me a babe.
They gotta keep those. Yeah.
So that can be a derogatory thing, you know, too. Like, just you don't say that. But to me, I sort of want to change the feeling of a babe as being just an object. But a babe is a cute girl, you know, and reflects the 80s, an 80s cute girl, you know. That's how I see it. And so, you know, when I think of it, when I've been using it in my books and all that stuff, I've been using it in the terms of let's put the image of a babe being somebody cute, but it's not just like you're, you know, objectifying somebody, you know, it's you know, obviously a person, and, you know, like to be with them. You take a dude who's necessarily a stupid person, or a person who's, you know, stoned, but like a cool guy, you know. So I'm kind of
yeah, I don't think they should get rid of those words. I think they should be in the next one, you know?
Yes. Yes. So yeah, you're right. The words there, it'll be interesting it'll be interesting if they use 80s vernacular. Maybe they might use vernacular of today. I wonder. Well, Bill and Ted would use 80s words, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So their kids might use words of today.
Yeah.
That would be kind of interesting. I have to talk to Ed about that.
Yeah.
Ed, bring it on. And then also I want to tell who are listening that I'm going to be doing a third book, and I don't know if you know this, and I'm going to start now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be asking people to send me photos. I've done a lot of conventions over the years, mm-hmm. and every time I do a convention, I bring my coat from Better Off Dead, and I have people can wear it at the convention and take pictures wearing it.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I'm going to make my third book sort of a tribute to Better Off Dead, and I'm asking anybody who's ever come to a convention with me and worn the coat, or they want a picture, or they took a picture with me wearing it, I'm going to post on my Twitter and my Instagram and my Facebook account that you can send me that photo and the convention you saw me at and your name, and I will print your picture in my book. So the idea is that the coat bonds everyone, and basically, like, anybody who wore that coat, like, loves Better Off Dead, and you're a good person. Like, all I can say is anybody who loves Better Off Dead is a good person, because you can't not. If you like that movie, you have a heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd like to celebrate it by having that all these people were all bonded by that coat and that experience and that film with comedy, you know? So that's my next book convention. Keep your eye out for that, or if you've seen me at a convention, search for those pictures now, and I will send an email address. I'll announce it, pretty soon, and then you can send it to me. We'll get the ball rolling.
Nice. Yeah, you and I both forgot to do the coat thing when we met at Sinister Creature Con in Stockton last June.
So we'll have to do it. Look, I'm not putting the book out right away.
Yeah.
In the year, if I do some conventions, people can show up and get their extra picture in. I know I'm doing a convention. I'm doing one on, I think, where is it? Downtown LA. I'm doing one at the end of February. Let me see. I'm going to look up the date so I can tell you. So if you're around and you're in LA and you want to have a picture with me and you want to be in the book and everything, come to, I just booked this, so this is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. It's going to be February 24th, Saturday, from 12 to 6 at Lethal, it says Lethal Amounts Gallery. I think Lethal Amounts Gallery. I think that's what it's called. Mm-hmm. It's at 1226 West 7th Street, downtown. So look for that.
Yeah,
write that down.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to Monsterpalooza in April. Alex Winter and Al Leong, who played Genghis Khan, are going to be there Sunday only, along with Pam Grier. She was in Bogus Journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
So ask them all what's happening when you get there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised you and Kimberly weren't contacted to be there too. Yeah,
sometimes what they do is they don't want us to do, like, I guess the convention people, they want to spread people out a little bit so that that people go to conventions, again. Because if they go for everybody, then people don't have to go again. So we weren't invited, but where is it?
Monsterpalooza in Pasadena.
Oh, in Pasadena, yeah. And when is it?
That's April 13th through the 15th.
Good. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll go visit.
Hey, maybe I'll see you. Maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, right. I'll come and visit.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Well, I love Alex. He's wonderful, and that would be great, to see him again. So.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Since October, I've had a lot of female guests come on, and they've pretty much taken the initiative to tell me about their Me Too experiences that they've had in the movie business. And I saw a thing you posted about when you auditioned for Once Upon a Time in America.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, it's funny. When I posted that, I thought, I wonder if he contacted about that because it just, you know, that Me Too went crazy. Everybody, you know, started coming out about things and saying what was going on.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if someone's going to say anything. And nobody noticed. Or, like, nobody said anything. And but what I did do was, because, you know, you don't know when you say something how it affects other people. So, like, for instance, you know, an actress might, you know, one of them will say, you know, Weinstein did something, and then another actress will go, oh my gosh, wait, that happened to me, and that gives them the courage to come out, you know?
Yeah.
And so what was interesting to me was I was 20 when that incident happened, or it's like, I think 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the girl, Jennifer Connelly, I think she was like 11 or 12 when she got it.
Mm-hmm.
So my main concern was obviously that nothing bad happened for her because you don't know what goes on, right? But
yeah.
At least for my sake, I would say that, you know, my experience with Sergio, and I'm not going to get into the details, that would probably have to be in another book. But I will say that what really was, I was luckily old enough to deal with it and know how to handle myself in this situation that was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are, you know, and mine was directly related. I mean, I was there to audition, and I had screen tested for the film twice, that role twice. I had been in costume for that role, and then to come in, it was in a hotel room because they were in the middle of shooting the film. To come and be brought to the hotel room, you know, to do the final, you know, am I going to get this role or not?
Right.
And then, so it was so directly related to getting a job or not. And I have to say, when I walked in, my intention was, okay, I'm here to be professional, do my work. And then when all the signals and signs started to happen, kind of just like, you as a young person, you're like, what, wait a minute. It's like, I'm getting this feeling, this is not what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, if I wasn't old enough and I didn't know how to handle the situation, it could have gotten really bad. But it was definitely directly related to getting a part.
Yeah.
And the odd thing about it is, had said, you know, I was another person and perhaps something had gone on, if that was the case, there still also would have been like, would you get the part or not? It has no bearing on it. It's just inappropriate in that situation. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like, you don't act unprofessional.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've never been in that situation in a professional, like, I've never in my whole life been in a situation where I went for an audition and somebody tried to do something inappropriate with me in an audition, except for that audition. And I'm not saying Sergio only, essentially, I'm not even saying that he's necessarily a bad person. I think what he is, to me, it was a desperate person or a sad person.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and I think also during the time in the 80s, you know, it's really, you know, like, 80s was a very sexual time, you know, and sex was fun, and it was open, and it was not, and it was fun and open more so because women could have their sexuality. It was okay for women to be sexual, and that sort of evened the playing field, so women could be like, I'm going to be sexy, and, you know, there was birth control, and, you know, if you wanted to be sexy, you could meet somebody, you could, and it was sort of, the playing field was a little bit more even.
Yeah.
Even being that both people could have fun. But that doesn't mean that you could force someone, right?
Right.
So a fund has to be mutually agreed upon, right?
Yeah.
Do we remember that?
Yep.
And you know, even if you're going to be if you're going to talk about a situation, if someone, some people like to be aggressor and other people like to be passive, right? And if that's
Right.
like a thing, well, yeah, but that has to be mutually agreed to, right? You can't just, think someone's meaning yes when they're saying no, right?
Uh-huh.
So, all that is that, I think it was perhaps being in the 80s, I maybe being more experimented because women were now being able to know the sexual aggressive. Maybe people were trying to find it back and forth, but I think truly, let's just get down to it. It's like people need to be better at romance.
Yeah.
Better at who honestly, you don't have to be the most gorgeous guy. You don't have to be the richest. You don't have to be in the most greatest shape.
Yeah.
You have to be like, as from a woman's standpoint, you gotta be brave enough to ask a girl to not do something that's inappropriate, or that's the game. The game is going back and forth and asking somebody, wooing them, as opposed to wooing a guy as well. Like, you need to get better at the way we are sexually. And communication. I think maybe that's really what it is. You need to communicate better. But certainly in this case, when we're talking, the biggest thing with Sergio,
Yeah.
that we're talking about power and using your power and your position in life for work and money. And it's like, if that's the case, hire a prostitute, okay?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to go after young girls or actresses? Guys, honestly, here's the inside scoop. Guess what? Actors are not prostitutes. It's not the same. It's not. Okay?
Nope.
It's like that heads up, right? Where, they're professionals and they have their job. Just as singers, they have a position and a job. And I mean that male or female,
Yeah.
It's like, if someone wants to take money for sexual things, that's a choice and that's their thing, and if that's right or wrong. But as far as like an actress goes, they're there to do their job. Young girls, not okay.
Yeah.
Today, thank goodness people are starting to say stuff. So it's good.
Yes,
Even
is.
for my daughter, she's a filmmaker, and I'm like, I'm so grateful that this has all come to a place where, as a young girl, she can say something. Someone's going to do something inappropriate. Not okay. It's not okay. It's not human. It's not a people thing. You wouldn't want anybody to do that to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's my $2.
Yeah. It just breaks my heart because my parents brought me up to respect women, and when I hear these stories, it just.
And it doesn't mean you're not attracted to women. It doesn't mean you don't want to date a woman.
Yeah.
It means you're not going to force or trick or I don't know, or do something that nothing manipulate, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I believe that if you are somebody who is like that, it is a power thing. You can get power. It's not about sex or love. It's about power, and that's one of the big things that they're talking about with Weinstein is it was the thrill of being powerful over all these girls.
Right.
It's very, people who are not like they did anything wrong because they think that, I know that he's trying to say this. He's going to say, oh, well, you came to me, and you came to my office, and you came to my beat, Well, the reason why I didn't bring it up was because I wasn't his assistant because he was shooting a film, and he didn't have an office. His office was in the middle of the
Right.
Up until that moment, I was in an office at the same time. that hotel room, he asked that woman to leave. That changed everything.
Yep.
So that's how it kind of happens. You're like, what? And so, and then they say to you, well, they can take it. And they sit on that. That is the, what do you call it? That's like, that when, honestly, when you do something wrong, if you can just admit it, women, that's something a woman needs. She needs you to admit it. Yeah, I did something wrong. Yeah, that was okay. You really need you to admit it. And they might let it go. They know that he's sincerely sorry. But the problem with Weinstein is, people are not, they're not saying this. And it's a big mistake for them. It's really hard. It's like you just want to say, I'm responsible for that. That's all we want. Mm-hmm. Anyway. I might, do you have any other thoughts? I mean, you could bring it up and discuss. I'm just putting out my instinct.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the Me Too movement has been a very good thing. However, I've been really concerned about certain people who are abusing it, the people who are like, either blowing things out of proportion or they're making it up for their own personal gain,
Well, here's another example, and this is true. We're talking about the Me Too movement has brought up everything from you looked at me the wrong way, touched me, like, pat me on the butt, whatever. And what's totally legit, you're, having sex with an underage child.
Yeah.
And we can argue all the way back and forth. It's an experience of something that makes it real.
Yeah.
Broken up by her boyfriend with death. It's like sometimes, we can make it like so huge. This is the first step of bringing it up.
Yeah.
There will be laws that will come into play that define the difference. But we don't have those laws set up yet, so everything's coming out. So we need to get laws defined and put into the entertainment business, and then once that's set, it will be easier. Maybe there's no penalty for this, or there's a penalty for this. This is worse, but I think it's like everyone's just getting it out. It's a year. This year I find everyone's really getting everything out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Talking about everything and talking about everything. Violence, guns, and to a certain extent, I think, the presidency sort of started all that.
Yeah.
We started to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Religion will come. Like, all of this, everything will come out the way. It's good for the country. Let's get it all out. Get it all out. Then we can deal with secrets. I'm not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Absolutely.
There's more to come, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I think it's just going to get worse. I think.
Yeah.
But
it's really, like, from my standpoint, when we were growing up, or when I was growing up, not for secrets. I remember being at 10 or 11 during the time of Watergate. And
yeah.
the government didn't do anything about the secret. And even the fact that there was a secret, just like what? So now we go, oh my God, of course, another secret we didn't know about the government. Or we know this is, so, yeah, and it's going to make people, I think what's going to happen, my judgment is that people are going to decide, what are we? What are our values? And then we're going to turn it, and then we're going to start creating, again, laws or having people in government that really represent how we want to be, and I think how we want to see ourselves. That's what I think this will bring about. Hopefully, some good things.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you on that. What did you think about the Louis C.K. scandal?
Oh, well, yeah, that was just. I don't have any connection to him, so that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that was again with just that whole the sexual harassment and the sexual. I don't know, some of the stories. I'm sure I'm like everyone where you listen to things and you think, really? You really did that? And really? Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And, you know, come on. Like, and I don't know. Every time it came out, it was more, I think, that I was addicted to finding out, are you kidding me? Like, you're a grown man and you're doing that? That's not okay. So, I would have to say it was, I think there's a lot of people that there's things are about and they're not even reported. He's just one of the people who just got the heat as well. You know, he just got the heat for it. He had a film that was supposed to come out. I'm glad it didn't come out. You know, I think that it was good. You know, it didn't come out. I know that a lot of these men probably think, oh, there's a witch hunt going on. But, you know, like, it needs to come out. Mm-hmm. And then, honestly, like, if people are sorry, the world, I don't know, America's nature is, you know, you can mess up, but if you really are apologetic, or if you know, create a fund to help people, show that you can make up, you think that America can be is a place where we can find forgiveness and things. It might not happen as soon as they would like, but I think in his case, he admitted it, right? He admitted all the stuff he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He admitted.
I have to say, I'm glad he did. Everybody needs to be culpable for what they did. Yeah.
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 I never thought he was that funny to begin with. You know. Me.
No, you really don't think he's funny, right?
Yeah. I mean.
That's pretty.
I mean, I'm a gentleman, and I tell dirty jokes in my stand-up act, you know, but I don't mean what I'm saying. They're just jokes, you know.
Right.
And
you're not doing it, right.
Let me tell you some jokes, and we can wrap this up.
Okay.
What's the difference between a golf ball and a G-spot?
What?
A man will spend 20 minutes looking for a golf ball.
Oh, stop it! See, there's my point. Come on, these guys. Get sexually educated.
Yeah.
Come on. You gotta get sexually educated. Let's make this happen. Let's not be ashamed. By the way, I have to say, you know, maybe an older gentleman has spent enough time in life to understand. Okay, younger men, go do some research.
Yeah.
On women, read some books. Okay. You know, look stuff up. You know, get educated. You are going to have the best life if you start understanding how women work.
Yeah.
We don't come with manuals, okay? Let's just say it. Women as well. Women, you don't come with manuals. You know, let's do some research.
I think all people need to come with manuals.
Yeah. I was actually talking to some students, and I said, you know, how we even use our voice. You know, we're not told how to use our voice. You know, so when you're little, you know, you don't speak up, or you know, and you feel ashamed maybe that your voice isn't very loud. That's because no one told you how to use your voice. You want to be louder, you need to breathe. You need to support your breath, support your words with breath.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like, you know, we need manuals. Anyway, so okay, and then is there another one?
Yeah, there's two more I got.
All right. Oh my gosh! Right.
A bear and a rabbit are taking a shit in the woods.
Okay.
The bear says to the rabbit, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit says no. So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit.
Oh. I like rabbits, but yeah, I did not see that coming.
He didn't either. He probably died from the stink.
He didn't either. Nice. I have to say, this good setup. And I do have to say, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. To all of you, whether you're with someone or not, I just hope everyone has a very happy Valentine's Day. And stay safe. Hug the one you're with. And if you're not really the hug, then I send you a very big hug there.
Diane, thank you for being my Valentine's Day guest, and for not only were you my very first guest on the show, you're now my 60th, and I just thank you so much. We'll be in touch. We'll talk again, and have a great Valentine's Day.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Tommy. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Diane Franklin. Second time, and pretty awesome one this time. I thank you so much. You're as entertaining and insightful as usual. I thank you so much, Diane. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter, add me as a friend on Facebook, and join my Tommy Kovac comedian page and all that fun stuff. I don't know if I'm doing a show tomorrow, but I want to remind everybody I will be at the Silver Screen Festival this Friday night to do press for the show. And it's going to be crowded there. It's going to be full of great horror movie guests. Barbara Crampton, Kelly Maroney, John Russo, Rico Browning, who's going to be honored at the after party. Suzanne Snyder, Bill Lustig, Jackie Kong, everybody. And it's going to be totally radical. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes. I love you. I love you, Diane.